faculty and staff, I would like to welcome all of you to our spring band concert. Mr. Belton and his students have worked extremely hard in preparation for tonight's concert, so please, I would ask that you please extend them the courtesy of turning your cell phones to vibrate or silent. And I would now like to introduce the band president, Melanie Kostecki.
Good evening, and thank you all for attending the Raider Band's annual spring concert. As this school year comes to a close, the senior members of our band are beginning to ready themselves to graduate and begin their lives as adults. Many of our seniors have been members of the band since 7th or 8th grade and have put in a tremendous amount of hard work, time, and effort into the Raider Band and our activities. On behalf of the Raider Band, thank you seniors and congratulations. This group is comprised of students ranging from 7th to 12th grade, and the drive to better the organization from every individual is a central reason this group plays so well. I would also like to thank parents and friends of band members in attendance tonight. Your support of the students involved with this organization is crucial. Our administration is also a vital part of our success. Without support from parents, friends, and administration alike, our successes as a group would not come to fruition. And finally, I'd like to thank Mr. Belts. He devotes a remarkable amount of time and energy not only to the Raider Band, but also his students, and is so patient even when it seems difficult to speak. Our band would not be half of the success it is without his guidance and unwavering livelihood. We worked so hard on this concert, and I hope you enjoy it. It is now my pleasure to introduce our band director, Mr. Mark E. Belts.
To open the concert, we will be playing the Inferno from the Divine Comedy. The Inferno from the Divine Comedy is a work based on Dante Alighieri's literary classic of the same name. The story of Dante's trilogy is basic. One day, Dante finds himself lost in a dark wood. Virgil, a character based on the revered Roman poet, appears and rescues him. Virgil guides Dante to a contemplation of Hades and Purgatory. Dante, having confessed his sins and with Beatrice as his guide, is led into paradise. Buffalo-born Rosanna Galliante is best known as a film composer and arranged with credits including Scary Movie 2 and Channels. He also has orchestrated for films such as The Invisible, Elephant Tales, Red Eye, Big Black Corner, Tuesdays with Maury, and Interstate 60. Some of his numerous commissions include the Nebraska Wind Symphony, Trenton State College, Erie County Light Ensemble, Australian University, Franklin and Marshall College, and the Chamber of Orchestra of Lancaster, Pennsylvania. A Childhood to Remember is a light lyrical composition capturing youth and the innocence through the eyes of a child. Playful melodic lines interspersed with more lyrical, lush melodies will take audience back to the simple time of their own childhood.
Just give us a few moments. We're going to shift gears here and set up for our jazz band. Who remembers the theme song from Spider-Man? This goes back to the Spider-Man cartoon, I believe from the 60s and 70s, right? Yeah, Ben's mom's over here going, yeah, so you can be the resident older person. I'll just say this, because Bob Loomis isn't here tonight and I can't pick on him. I had Mrs. Toronto in high school as a high school teacher, so. Well, I also had Mr. Buglio too, so. All right, so this next one is another older one. Growing up, my dad was into Blood, Sweat, Tears, and all that. And, so a lot of that '60s rock, he'd be listening to in the car or something like this. So here is one. This is "Never My Love," and this is the Association. I think they only had about 2 or 3 hits, and that was the end of the Association, and they are no longer associated with one another any longer. So here it is, "Never My Love." Okay, so the next one is more of a traditional jazz piece. This one is a Gershwin piece. This one is Someone to Watch Over Me. And you'll hear a little bit of a difference with this one because it's a little bit more exposed. There's more of the piano, and we have a tenor soloist, tenor sax soloist, Adam Schindler. So really cool piece. Hope you enjoy it. Okay, so our last one here for jazz band is definitely a very modern one. Yeah. So this is Inner Sandman off the Black Album from Metallica. Yes, I did go to see them in 1991 at Allentown Fairgrounds. So I think I had my license for about 3 months. I loaded about 27 people in a 79 Mercury Zephyr. I don't know how the car made it there. And if my father only knew that I had that many people in the car, I probably wouldn't have had the car. So here's Inner Sandman. That's really what James Hetfield wanted when he wrote that song. Total horns in the band. It would have been a much better song. Okay, we're going to switch it up and go back to our Raider band here. Just give us a few moments.
In 1940, American filmgoers were introduced to marching mops carrying buckets of water and a brave little apprentice with that now iconic sorcerer's hat. Walt Disney's monumental film combined animation with classical music to create a sensory experience. Sampling from Night on Bald Mountain, Dance of the Sugar Plum Fairies, The Sorcerer's Apprentice, as well as other classical pieces, this arrangement by James Kernell brings to mind the magic of Disney with selections from Fantasia.
tome poem and the Antelope play depicts the transformation through time of the Antelope Valley, from ancient times to the displacement of Native American culture to modern times. The work considers both geographical and cultural aspects in its musical portrayal of the vast and beautiful desert of California. The title is taken from the 19th century song, Home on the Range, specifically from the line, "Where the deer and the antelope play." Although you will not hear the song except in some fragments, the thematic material of the music is based solely upon these fragments and word association from the song. Although well hidden, you may find the themes more by word association than melody association. And the Antelope play is a composed tone poem in 8 sections played without pause, with each section bearing a descriptive verse from the poem. First there was wind, morning light, behold the valley, and the antelope play, the plight of the valley, the spirit remains, and the antelope, the valley home.
Point something out here. You have to listen to the percussion section. There's a couple of spots in here where there is a wind chime. I needed a wooden wind chime. I took it off my mom's porch.
a time, there was a red-hooded dame on her way to her grandmother's house with a basket of goodies. You know the story from there, I'm sure, with that hep cat, the big bad wolf, cruising for a bruiser. Guy Foreman has his own bebop version of the tale, so sit back and relax, Daddy-O, while we present Little Bob Riding Hood.
Once upon a time, on that solid island known as Manhattan, lived a real hip dog called Little Bob Riding Hood. One fine day, Little Bob Riding Hood decided to visit her dear old grandmother. Who lived on the other side of town.
Taking a basket of goodies, which her mother had prepared for the dear old lady, Little Bob started down the street. Suddenly, along came a long yellow convertible. The driver was a real Gonghorn man by the name of Hot Lips Harry.
Doll baby, he cried, you are the most. Hop in and let's make beautiful music together.
Get lost, answered Little Bob. I'm on my way to visit my dear old grandmother. Who lives on the other side of town. And off she strolled down the street.
I'll dig you later, called Hot Lips, and cutting into supersonic jets, he blasted off for grandmother's house.
Arriving there, he persuaded the old lady to take 5 and cut up. Then, after putting on her long dress and bonnet, Hot Lips sat down in her rocking chair.
Soon, strolling down the street, came Little Bob Riding Hood.
Why, grandmother, she exclaimed, what wild eyes you have!
The better to see you with, my dear, answered Hot Lips.
Why, grandmother, she said again, what king-size ears you have!
Yes, answered Hot Lips, real floppers, aren't they?
Why, grandmother, she exclaimed for the 3rd time, your nose is the longest.
Yes, Hot Lips replied sadly, just call me Nosy.
Dad, you flip, said Little Bob. You aren't my grandmother. And with that, she hit him on the head with her basket.
Baby dogs, said Hot Lips, they're playing our song. And with that, he started toward Little Bob. horn, he blew a few licks.
Crazy, exclaimed Little Bob. I dig you the most. And with that, Little Bob Riding Hood. And Hot Lips Harry. Floated away into the misty purple and lived frantically ever after. That's all, cats. Let's take 5.
An American Elegy by Frank Kelly is above all an expression of hope. It was composed in memory of those who lost their lives at Columbine High School on April 20th, 1999, and to honor the survivors. It is offered as a tribute to their great strength and courage in the face of a terrible tragedy. For Frank Kelly hopes the work can also serve as one reminder of how fragile and precious life is and how intimately connected we all are as human beings.
Before we do the presentation of Sousa Award and Gilmore Award, I have Mr. Buglio coming up for our students that have been accepted to go into Tri-Am Honor Society.
And just for the record, I was 10 years old when he was my student. Good evening. Tonight we would like to formally induct a number of students who have fulfilled all the requirements necessary to become active members of the Tri-Am Music Honor Society. We will also recognize the continuing members of our chapter. Before we do our induction, I would like to speak to what Tri-Am represents. The formation of a Tri-Am Music Honor Society chapter signifies Tamaqua High School's recognition of the importance of the arts and the development of a comprehensive educational program. Tri-Am provides a means of recognizing the efforts and achievements of music students who volunteer their time and share their musical talents with others. The goals of the Tri-Am Music Honor Society are to foster greater interest in band, orchestral, and choral performance, and to provide a wider opportunity for personal musical expression. Students are selected for membership in the Honor Society on the basis of musicianship, scholarship, cooperation, leadership, and service to their school and community. Our chapter bases its membership on 6 criteria that were established back in 1991 at the founding of Chapter 2240. They are: number 1, only upperclassmen are eligible for induction. Number 2, a student must be proficient on his or her instrument and or voice as determined by a faculty member. Number 3, a student must maintain a grade point average of an A in all music courses and a B overall in general studies. Number 4, a student must have at least auditioned for county and or district festivals. Number 5, a student must be active and remain active in the marching concert band or concert choir and or jazz chorale. And number 6, all new inductees must have completed an essay on the topic, the role music plays in my life. Having met all 6 of the criteria necessary, at this time it is my pleasure to announce the 2015 inductees into Chapter 2240 of the Tri-Am Music National Honor Society of Tamaqua Area High School. Please stand and be recognized when your name is called. Genevieve Beck, Hannah Betts, Kendra Boyle, Abigail Brickler, Allie Gerber, George Hedges, David Lucas, Patrick McMullen, Michaela Knox, Emma Ozenbaum, Alec Roseland, Monica Shumko, and Adam Shumko. Each inductee will receive a Tri-Am pin emblem that they are to wear with pride alongside their other music ribbons and medals that they have received. Band jackets and high school jackets are a great place to display this pin. At this time, we would like to recognize our continuing members of the Chapter 2240 that have met and must continue to meet the following criteria. Number 1, each continuing member must remain active in the music department by participating in an active performing ensemble here at Tamaqua Area High School. And each student member is required to audition for county and/or district band or chorus each school year to maintain Tri-Am membership status. At this time, the continuing members of Chapter 2240 will be recognized. Please stand and be recognized when your name is called. Kaylee Bittner, Andrew Del Pez, Madeline Dolinsky, Caitlin Franz, Amy Gardner, Amy Hull, Beth Kistler, Melanie Kostecki, Tim Kleeman, Jamie Madian, Jasmine Maynard, Rachel Paisley, Allison Peterson, Ariana Cerniak, Julia Shellhammer, Vanessa Salt, Ben Serrano, and Kelsey Zamudio. Each of these students will receive a certificate for their continued membership. At this time, I'd like to just draw your attention to the program insert entitled Why We Teach Music. If you haven't read this, I would encourage you to read it before you leave tonight and take it with you. Over the past few years, our music department has put out information about the benefits of music, and it mainly comes from academia, and it tells you all the great things that you know music does for your child academically and what it does for their brain. But this year we thought we'd put out something from the students. So this is taken exactly from their word for word, from their Tri-M assignment. And so we thought you'd like to hear why we teach music from your children. So please read it. It's some great things I think the kids have said. So I don't think I need to add anything, and I don't think Mr. Belts does. I think they've said it all. So please read it and share it with school board members, share it with administrators. That's what keeps music in our schools. Thank you.
Okay, before we play our last piece, we have a couple of things we want to just point out to you, things that have gone on since the last concert, some individuals that have gone on to the different festivals and things. So let's do this. Any student this evening that has performed a solo at any point, either in wind ensemble, concert band, jazz band, please stand up. I take the Mr. P approach, that way I don't forget anybody, I just get them all in one shot. So, thank you guys. Have a seat. Since the Christmas concert, we've had some individuals that have gone on to the upper festivals. If you recall, we had talked about the county band, we had talked about district band. We have an individual who made it to region band and region orchestra, and that is Allie Gerber. We have been to East Stroudsburg, south, not north, right? South. And she had the privilege to play at the Scranton Cultural Center. The Region Orchestra Festival, they rented the Cultural Center. So, pretty good experience. So, and that region is pretty much the whole northeastern section of Pennsylvania. So, and they take 3 flutes. So, awesome job. Let's see, Junior County Band. We've had some individuals advancing to the Junior County Band. This year was at Tri-Valley High School. When I read your name, please stand. Ashley Arthurton, Brittany Miller, Ariana Kowalski, Morgan Lush, Sarah Frantz, Dylan Miller, Brady Miller, Jacob Rudy, and Gretchen Pucklavich. And Brady is actually in 6th grade. So he made it in on tuba. So give these individuals a round of applause. Thank you. Okay, so every year the band has done our Gilmore and our Sousa Award. Just to kind of give you a background on these awards, the Gilmore Award started in 1995. The Sousa Award started in 1978. The individual who's chosen must be a senior, and they are chosen by their colleagues in the band. It is basically the most valuable player and the silver slugger, I guess you could think about it like that, or the golden glove, or the golden goose, the platinum glove I guess they have now. So I'm going to go through the individual voted on by their peers for the Gilmore
Award. This year's recipient is Vanessa Saul. Now, Vanessa, do you know the words to Semper Fi? Not all of them. Vanessa is my first Marine, so congratulations. She must learn the words to Semper Fi. And the Sousa Award, the recipient voted on by their peers for this year is J.D. Madiak. They each receive the Sousa Award is a trophy, and the Gilmore Award is a plaque. They also will have their name, if you go into the trophy case, about halfway through, both of the awards are in there, and they get their name on the plaque. Now, obviously their names are not on there yet, but they will be tomorrow morning as soon as I walk in the door, so that they are our Gilmore and Sousa Awards. So can we give them another round of applause? So I have to say, guys, and I always say this, every year, your kids are wonderful, absolutely wonderful. They just, to make music like this is undoubtedly probably one of the most musical Raider bands. So we finished the Christmas concert, and I handed out the Inferno. They sight read it, like the next week, which was like, wow, this is special. I've tried to instill in these kids that the 88 years of pride and tradition, and you guys are just awesome. Once again, I never, ever come to work. I always go to school. Thank you. So fortunate to be a part of that pride and tradition. So we're going to do something a little different. I'm going to ask the vice president of the band to come up and close the concert. She said now? Not tomorrow morning. Oh, you're on Canadian time, sorry. Sorry, Mom.
I, Amy Holland, Vice President of the band, would like to thank all who supported this organization this evening. On behalf of the band, I would like to congratulate all those who received awards and recognition, and also the seniors. I would like to extend one last thank you to our parents, guardians, and the administration for their support. Finally, I would like to thank our wonderful director, Mr. Bellis, for putting up with us. Sometimes I think we're worse than the elementary school kids. Thank you, drive safe, and have a good night.
After spending 12 years as the 17th director of the President's Home from 1880 to 1892, John Philip Sousa went on to form his own civilian band at the urging of concert promoter David Blakely. During the heyday of the Sousa band in the early part of the 20th century, the group would often perform in residence at well-known resorts and at national expositions. One such summer retreat was New York's famous Manhattan Beach. In 1893, Sousa dedicated a march to the establishment and its owner, Austin Corbin. In Sousa's own personal interpretation, the last half of the march is a short descriptive piece. The trio's bubbling arpeggios imitate the waves of the ocean lapping against the shore during a walk along the beach. The waves first get louder and louder, but then fade away as the walk continues down the shore.